I'm feeling much better.
Yay!
I wouldn't say I'm 100% healed or anything, but my jaw still kind of hurts. My teeth were hurting earlier, which I thought might have even been like a dentistry problem, but it's mostly gone now. I don't know. My mouth is still weird, but overall I'm better. How are you feeling?
A couple days ago, my tonsils started swelling. Like whenever I swallowed or existed, my throat really hurt. It was tight. I felt like I was going to suffocate. So that was unpleasant, but it's much better today. Today I just have an overwhelming headache. But other than that, I'm doing pretty well. I'm working through it.
Well, I guess we can start a new corner called Big Companies Are Sometimes Inflexible. We mentioned on our last podcast that I was going to get a new phone. Apple's running a promo deal right now where if you trade in your old phone, they will give you essentially more than it's worth in credit towards a new phone. I guess I didn't click the box properly when I was checking out, so I didn't actually tell them that I wanted to do that trade-in. I swear I did, but I guess I didn't. Anyways, so I contact Apple and say, okay, well, I have the phone. I like the phone. It's good. I just need to get like enough credit for this trade-in old phone like it was going to be with the promo. Because if you just trade in regularly without buying a new phone, they don't give you as much. And after talking to, I think, 3 different support people at Apple, everyone came to the conclusion that that's not possible. Now, they do have free returns, so the solution is just to return both the phone and the case, wait a day, and then just reorder the phone, this time with the trade-in, which I hate because it's completely environmentally unfriendly. Apple's losing money. It means I have to have a broken phone longer, or Shelby does in this case. It's the dumbest thing in the world, but it's just one of those things that big companies just... There's no one that's able to say, okay, I see what happened here. Let's just give you extra credit for the phone, and you can keep the phone you have.
The new one.
The new one, yeah. But no, I have to waste their time and my time and ship the new phone back and then order the exact same phone again. But this time, hit the right button. So after all that mess with Apple, I'm returning the phone anyways. And I just get to thinking, it just seems like Shelby should have the new phone. We talked about it before I ordered it, who should get it, because Shelby and I have currently identical phones, other than that her screen is smashed. And generally, I care about phones more, and I'm more into technology than Shelby is. So it just seemed natural that I would take the new one, and she'd get a new one when the new ones come out in September.
Well, and I think most importantly, at least from my perspective, I smashed my phone. So I feel like I don't deserve the new one.
So we had talked about before I ordered the phone, who should get it, and we kind of decided on me. But then once I got the phone, like I said, I like the phone, but seeing Shelby's reaction to the phone, she seemed way more excited about it than I was. Like I would show her the new features it had or the new camera or something, and she just seemed way more into it than I was. So I just thought, well, I'm already having to return it. There's no extra cost to return the case that I already bought for it. Why not just return the whole thing and then have Shelby get the one that we actually order? And I'll just keep using the phone that I was using, and I'll just wait till September. Anyway, so because of that, Shelby needed to return the case for the old phone that she had ordered.
Now, whenever Nate was going to be getting his new phone, I went ahead and ordered a new case for his old phone, which would be my new phone. As we discussed, I spent a lot of time picking out this case. And then Nate said, hey, can you easily and cheaply return or cancel that order? I did not know. So I went to the website and looked into it. No, you cannot easily or freely cancel or return your order. So I sent an email to the company asking them to cancel my order and give me my money back. And this was maybe only a day or two after I ordered it. And this was through a company called Casetify, and they individually print off each case. So I knew that like it hadn't left any facilities or anything like that. And I got an automated email response letting me know that they would be back with me in 24 or 48 hours. And I heard from them today. And I think I sent that email on Friday. So not quite 24 or 48, but okay. And the email I got back said, oh, okay, we got your email requesting a return or cancellation. Is there anything wrong with the case? Can we do anything to make it better? I made it pretty clear in my initial email that the circumstances with my cell phone with which the case would be going on had changed, so I would no longer be requiring the phone case. Had nothing to do with the quality of the case or the design of the case. So I was already just kind of annoyed that, oh, okay, cool, so you literally read the subject line and just sent me an email. And I just responded and said, no, there's nothing wrong with the case. I've not received the case. I don't want to receive the case. Because otherwise, I would get the case and have to pay for shipping to send it back and hope that they gave me my money back. Anyways, big old brouhaha. I still have no resolution. So that's kind of my end of the frustration with the phone switching.
That reminds me, I used to reply to emails where the person would request a document from me, maybe an invoice, maybe some documentation for something. And I would just reply to their email, and then I would also attach the thing that they asked for. And I kid you not, half the time or more, they would then respond back and say, well, can I get the invoice? Because I didn't explicitly say in my email, please open up your eyes and look at the attached item.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Like, the first thing I notice before you even open an email in every email app that I know of, it tells you if there's an attachment on it. Mm-hmm. That's actually one of the primary ways I can sort my email quickly, is which ones have attachments that I'm looking for from that person. So now all that's left is to get the refund for the iPhone and then rebuy it. And of course, now we're back at the same dilemma where Shelby needs to order a case. I'm trying to convince her to order a case from someplace like Apple or Amazon, someplace that has nice free returns.
Except that I hate all of those cases and they're all trash. I had my first lesson with VIPKid Saturday morning at 5:30. It went well. I got up whenever I intended to, which does not always happen with me in general. So I had lots of time in the morning to get ready and prepare. And it went well. I now have 3 more lessons booked. So I'm excited to have my schedule filling up a little bit more. It just makes me more comfortable seeing that, okay, yeah, I actually will be teaching, not just being on a service with an open schedule.
Well, my little brother had his 13th birthday this week. We kind of had to split the activities up. His real birthday was earlier in the week, but he was out of town. Our family has traditions regarding birthdays, as all families do. Generally speaking, every kid gets to pick one out-to-eat meal and one homemade meal, as well as a homemade cake. My mother is an incredible cook and can make anything, so frankly, we usually prefer the homemade meals over anything else out. But Philip chose a family favorite, eggs a la Goldenrod. It sounds kind of fancy. I don't know the origins of the recipe necessarily, but we got it from my granny. Basically, you just take homemade biscuits, you crumble them up into kind of bite-sized pieces, then you cover it in grated boiled eggs and gravy, white gravy.
It's so good.
This is greatly helped by the fact that my mom makes the best biscuits in the world and maybe the best white gravy in the world. Both of her cooking in those regards is completely next level. And so this is like the perfect dish to like show off her fantastic culinary skills.
Absolutely. I mean, the biscuits are incredible.
To me, it just seems like the definition of Southern comfort food.
Pretty much.
To go with that, Philip also requested an ice cream cake. Instead of just doing like what you might think of as an ice cream cake, we just did an ice cream sandwich cake, which was extremely good. That was all Thursday night. And then Sunday afternoon, we went to Five Guys for lunch. We have to drive to the next town over, Lufkin, to get to it. So it's kind of a treat for us. And we all got burgers there, and that was delicious. That's still one of my favorite places to get a burger. And then that night, we actually watched an old favorite movie of mine from childhood called The Rescuers. It's a Disney movie that came out in 1977 about a mouse society that helps rescue people. It's a great movie.
It was very cute. I had not seen it before. Although I knew how good it was, from folklore, I guess. So I was very excited to watch it, and it was excellent. It reminded me a lot of Aristocats, which is one of my favorites. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's almost like a children's version of Ocean's 11. It's like a heist action movie,
That's a bit of a stretch.
Well, I mean, it's not like illegal, like they're helping someone. But it's still kind of like it's got the build up to the big event, to the big getaway, to the big heist,
I feel like that's just like the timeline of any movie or story or book or poem.
Whatever. The last thing I did for the week was we had a photography outing with our club. We all met at one of the local gardens, Gala Mize. One of the members I mentioned before, Ron, who presented, was kind of leading the workshop and giving us his best tips and tricks for flower photography. Flower photography and like macro photography are not my specialties at all. And surprise, surprise, you don't get that much better in one day. Ron's a great teacher, but there's only so much a teacher can do. So we were out there in the gardens for about 2.5 hours. There was a lot of talking and maybe less photography. I did more photography there than anyone else. But there was lots of socializing.
As any club should be.
Yeah. But I learned a lot from him. I'm not that happy with the photos, but that's fine. I mean, like I said, I'm not that good at them to start with, so it's not surprising that I would go from not that good to amazing in one day. But those are up on the website if you want to see them. I'll post a link in the show notes. By the way, if you haven't heard of show notes before, it's basically just like the text and outline of the show that goes along with the podcast. You can sometimes view it in your podcast app if you like scroll down or look towards the bottom of the page when it's playing. But if for some reason you can't find that, you can always go to heydeans.com/highlights and you'll see a big list of episodes there and you can view all the show notes. But I think that closes it out for the week. Anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty.
See you next time.